Higher class and otherwise urban individuals should have no right to build or have access to said materials, thus blocking unnecessary capital gain. It should be highly disagreed upon by the government if said second-class items are sold to other distributors. Main reason being that this economic structure would help the current house market, allowing the proper customers and prospects rather than a wild card customer. This should not be an accessible economic route unless you are willing to live in or highly benefit said community. There should still be access to capital gain through programs from this platform, as it does allow more market gain for urban individuals, yet it must actually truly help this vulnerable community. You could have rights to these building codes with urban access if you benefit. The house would still have to be built in the same region, yet there could be a special area and protection in exchange for providing for the community if they are beneficial. With urban rights, one must choose communal or political vote, and not both. Individual statements, as stated before, would still allow there to be minute access to both realms, yet only dominancy on one side, allowing said individuals to live close. Yet with boundaries could help more impoverished individuals understand way of life through observation. Said community only further allows a more healthy new zero on both sides, without mental, physical or physiological action. Both parties can be dickhead or conducive to society. Still knowing the rights to their own space, many higher class individuals would release guilt. Main issues with this: black market, violence, fires, pandemics, birth out of wedlock, runaways, confused potential, mob mentality. Yet, at least they'd have a home this time and would feel awkward if they were disruptive, even if unaware to that fact. In the audiobook Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Walshy speaks about America's over-consumption, yet with the most humble, educated, indigenous voice. She uses imagery related to a skin walker type of creature who has a never-needing thirst. The creature was symbolized as the whole picture of the American economy. She drew out a story, killing the thing, although necessary in her perspective. As you can see, she truly fought to speak her voice within her writing. I done it want to kill the thing this time. I feel bad for it. I know I could be that thing. I know I wouldn't want to die. I would want to find solutions to my lust. Or what if that was your father and I didn't know he shared the memories he has with you? I have no right, although some do. This could further evolve to then help Section 8, the disabled, sick, and the elderly ones more established. Yet it would be absolutely inhumane to subject these groups to this environment until there is legitimate access, standards, and acknowledgement. You would then actually be able to assign jobs, tasks, and education no matter how minute to all perspectives. Eventually, it's an environment to consider if you two are ever thrown into an invulnerable situation, not matter riches or thought output. Humans like to socialize. We like to do. We like to find out what we actually can do. This gives everyone a direct set of do's and don'ts, which could further help safety through non-violent movement and compensation based on the hierarchy of water preservation. This is also an ideal environment for those who recently have gotten out of prison, especially at the beginning of its budding stages, especially with strict standards and direct connect to military. If anything, you could properly recruit soldiers after a period of community. You could also take this opportunity to further foster and or house animals in shelters, taking the time to properly domesticate and train dogs. Due to the abundance of time, there should still be rights to your property, valid search warrants, and authority. There still should be police enforcement, but it should be based more on codes, while there is still the subliminal message of military force. Rights still highly respected. You could also grant lifetime prison inmates the ability to suggest feasible proposals, possibly with community interaction. Definitely just a thought on that one, but this environment may cause less stigma that is attracted to coercion. It's important to consider those who are imprisoned for heinous crimes may have not acted out if they were allowed an environment such as. Although true freedom should not necessarily be on the table, community access should be a consideration. Aggression can start by not having a voice in a place that claims you may share your voice. Space to further validate your original concerns may help connect actual truths to why someone reacted the way they did originally, which will further create prevention. Mothers that are interested in keeping their child should not be in the said environment, but should further be transported to a special community for vulnerable pregnant women. It should be enthused to keep a child, yet abortion's rights clearly stated. The mother would be required to either propose and create feasible crafts or bulk items in her food preparation that must be assembled or made in standards to the original community's requirements in order to compensate for the extra life and inconvenience. This program would specifically be for women that are in the community and get pregnant due to negligence of birth control. The man, no matter how serious the relationship, even if married, would not be allowed to live with said woman unless they find suitable urban lifestyle. In this condition, to establish residency in this area, one must be able to create a proposal as to how they would be conducive to this minimal society. Otherwise, alternatives such as HUD and minimal wage in urban conditions would be best suited. There could also be adoptive programs that allow said children to find more suitable conditions until the mother is more stable, still allowing her access back to her community. Mothers that intentionally have a baby without the community's permission will further be segregated from said group and will be required to stay in more solitude within the community of pregnant women, as it should not be a reward in this specific situation.